Hello, welcome to Wednesday's Networking with JJ. My name is Justin Kramer, and JJ has given me an opportunity to host this meeting, and I'm truly blessed, and I feel very grateful for that. And that's just kind of an example of who JJ is and the kind of person he is. So I'm here to welcome JJ, the one and the only JJ Azizian. JJ, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, brother. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself before you got into real estate, before you started doing this whole thing. What were you doing before you got into real estate and doing the whole networking thing?
For those that don't know me, I'm from Los Angeles, from Southern California.
Nice.
And I've always kind of been around real estate most of my life. As I grew up in the Hollywood Hills. That's the picture behind me is the Hollywood Hills. I grew up in that neighborhood, actually right over here by the lake. And a third of those lots had built homes. A third were homes being built that as kids we played in. And a third of the lots were vacant. But I grew up watching homes being built. Went to Hollywood High of all things. At Hollywood High, went to USC, got my business degree. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew whatever I was going to do was going to be a business. So let me study business. And out of college, I went to I worked at Hughes Aircraft Company.
Wow.
I worked in aerospace in the days of Star Wars, and I was had a number of accolades, a number of promotions right off the bat, right year after year, and was laid off after about 5 or 6 years. And I grew up in Hollywood of all places, and when I was no longer working for Hughes Aircraft Company, as dumb luck came my way, I got offered a job to work on film sets. And my aerospace education and my degree from SC came in really handy because my first job was as a production assistant. So I was picking up trash and serving coffee. And my aerospace background in material management allowed me to decipher between recyclables and garbage. And my business degree allowed me to be able to count 2 versus 3 scoops of sugar.
I mean, that's a handy skill.
Yeah, handy skills if you're going to get coffee for the director. But I got to work in film industry for many years, and actually, it was my time in film industry that taught me how to network. Because when you're working on a film set, commercial music video, as soon as that show's over, you're out of work.
Yeah.
And so you need to find another production company that's got another show going on.
Yeah.
And that means asking somebody who did they work for recently? Who's a production manager? And it just got me into getting to know people, talking to people, being friendly. And these were people that couldn't hire me, but they would tell me who else could hire me.
Right.
So I had to learn, how to get out of my box, how to talk to people, how to make friendships, because people will talk to people they like.
Yeah.
And if they weren't telling me who hired them last week, I have no idea who I'm going to go door knocking on when that show's over.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I was in the film industry for 6 years. I did.
You got to learn to put yourself out there. Really.
Oh yeah, I believe it or not, and I say that facetiously, I accelerated pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I went from the PA picking up trash and serving coffee to being an assistant on film sets. They call it the swing gang. But I got to work with electricians in the grips, laying dolly track, doing video assist. I became a coordinator, production manager, eventually a producer. I did 200 shows in 5 years.
Wow.
Music videos. I got to work with Madonna, Cher, Paula Abdul, David Bowie, Pat Benatar, Stevie Nicks, Phil Collins, Tom Petty, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Neil Young, everybody. I worked constantly. I love my time in the film industry, man. There was nothing better than working behind camera. Yeah. Absolutely nothing.
That's amazing.
Amazing. It was pretty darn cool. What happened after that? I didn't go to USC to I worked to a point where I couldn't get any higher because I didn't have any contacts to get me into big time producing.
Right.
And I got tired of butting my head against a wall. And I had a door open for me to work for Universal Studios in the corporate offices. which was pretty cool. I was working
That's
as an
super
assistant
cool.
to basically presidents in Disney, high
Wow.
executives. I was a personal assistant, and I did that for a number of years. And
Well, what would you say that did for your confidence at that point?
no, I don't think so much it was really impacting my confidence. It was just pretty neat to work on the lot at Disney, to work
Yeah.
on the lot at Universal. I
Yeah.
was going to offices with big sound stages around me. I think I was just pretty enamored to be working in that regard.
Yeah.
To have a job in the entertainment industry is just cool, you
Yeah.
know. And
No,
I
I'm thinking you're talking to big higher ups, you're talking to presidents, you're talking, talking to people in the industry that are, way up there. And that's gotta be, while it's cool, I mean, it's gotta be a little nerve-wracking too, right?
not so much nerve wracking. I think here we are. We're talking to private money lenders. We're talking to developers.
Yeah.
We're talking to people that are doing real estate on a high level. They're doing syndication. They're just like you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Hollywood. I grew up around celebrities. I went to school with Jodie Foster. I played baseball where Ron Howard played ball. And maybe I'm dating myself. Some of the kids might not know who these people are, but they're big celebrities.
Yeah.
But they're just regular people like me and you. Michael Jackson and I were in the same circle. Had never met him, but we were of the same age, the same era. And one thing I never did was bother those people, because they don't want to be bothered.
I'm the same way when I see a celebrity. I don't bother them.
Yeah, so I think my thing was just getting to know the individual, whether they're a high level executive or whether they're a celebrity on a film set.
Right.
Just being real.
Right.
And what I talk about when I talk about networking is to not chase a deal, but to chase a relationship.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes when we're trying to build our visibility or build our network or build our brand. A lot of the new investors will tell me, I don't bring any value. I don't know what to say. But if you just I just tell them, if you look at really who you are, look at yourself for the value that your family sees you to have, and just walk forward with that same confidence, you cannot lose. But
that's a really good way of putting it. I actually really like that. So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
So when you actually did, get into real estate investing and into this world, obviously you'd already had some experience in networking, being in the entertainment business. But I mean, would you say that's something that just came naturally to you, the progression from getting into real estate investing and then building your own network?
I grew up as a kid that was shy and stuttered. I was bullied for years. I was speaking in front of people was I'd rather have someone pull my fingernails off with a pair of pliers and talk to people. Yeah. But the film industry was a great part of that. If I didn't get out and talk to people, I wasn't working.
Right.
If you're a real estate investor and you're not making relationships, you're not growing your business.
Right.
So I think that had a great impact to do with me learning how to socialize. So yeah, I think my experience in the film industry greatly helped me with my ability to get outside of my box and talk to people.
Well, I know I can say from my own experience that coming into your group and meeting the amazing people in the various mentorships and groups that I'm in, and networking has been tremendous for my growth and for my own business. How much has that helped you in your business and your progression in the real estate industry?
How much does networking help my growth?
Yeah.
We hear it all the time. Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
This is not a business you can do by yourself. It's really not. I say it all the time. People help people they like. They cannot like you if they don't know you.
Yeah.
And in the context of social media, Facebook and every single education program, whether it's Sub2, Astro Flipping, Talk to People, Thrive, whatever the different programs are, they all have a Facebook group.
Yeah.
But in the context of social media, if you're not visible, they cannot know you, which means they cannot like you. If you're not visible, you're invisible. Means opportunity walks right past you.
So true.
So it's just crucial. It's
Yeah.
being networking is crucial
Yeah.
to your business as a real estate investor.
I mean, your networking group and your expertise, I mean, has gotten me to the point where, like, I'm worried I'm not doing enough networking. I mean, do you think you could ever do too much networking?
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, it can go to the point, a lot of people bring on VAs. I'm going to need to get a VA. VAs can help you with your repetitive stuff.
Yeah.
And some people say they want to get a VA to handle all their social media. But here, you and I are on a Zoom right now. And this is going to go to YouTube, and this is going to get posted to groups around the country. But we can't do this with two VAs.
No.
It's got to be me and you. There's got to be some personal interaction. People need to put themselves out there.
I mean, you could have a VA, but it would be kind of awkward, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a place for that eventually. But
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Well, let me ask you this. I always ask this of people that I admire and people I'm trying to, learn as much as I can from. When you first started, what were some of the major roadblocks you ran into, or what were some of the hurdles that you ran into?
oh man, I think I still have those roadblocks and hurdles. Again, I talk about Scott Jenkins all the time. He doesn't know this. He's one of my friggin' idols. If you guys don't know Scott Jenkins, he's in Sub 2. He and I started in the first education program before Sub 2. He led me to Sub 2. He's become one of my best friends. Scott's really great at blocking his time. I need to get better at blocking my time.
Yeah.
I need to find time to get to the gym. I need to limit my time on some things that I put too much time towards.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest hurdles for me is overcoming my deficiency of properly blocking my time.
Yeah. Same.
I think that's the big one. I mean, another thing we need to do, no matter how much we're doing for our task, for our job, for our responsibilities, I think it's always good to have a book going at all times. And probably to read that book at least, 10 pages to a half an hour a day.
Yeah.
Which is just like, getting your mind going, and probably in the morning. And then again, that's where I should be time blocking to get reading in, to get going to the gym and you guys have family. If you got kids, your spouse, significant other, you got to find time. You have to have a balance between work and business, or work and family. And time blocking is crucial to that. So I think time blocking is the thing that is my biggest challenge that I need to really work on, which a VA will help with that.
Yeah. VA will definitely help. In fact, I've heard numerous times that VA is one of the first things that a lot of VAs will do, is start helping you organize yourself. And they just go above and beyond, right? And a lot of them do. And I know I've talked to a bunch of people about that. But yeah, I mean, time blocking for me is a huge one. I mean, what advice would you give someone like, say, someone like myself who's trying to build their own network and build their own brand? Like, what would be some advice you'd give me in my beginning stages?
I had 2 phone calls this morning with 2 students. One's been with our group for 4 years.
Yeah.
Out of my first education program. Another young man's been with Sub 2 for just a short amount of time. And I get contact with, how can I, do something related to land, or how can I do something related to multifamily? And I need help with this. Can you help me with this?
Yeah.
And I usually say that I may not be able to help you, but I can certainly introduce you to the people that can. But part of that is my networking group. And the way I can help people is by teaching them some of the basic things on how to network. My suggestion to the new investor would be, and I'll join my group. My suggestion would be, learn how to use Facebook, learn how to market yourself, learn how to build relationships, learn how to create your visibility, because your business is going to grow by how well you present yourself.
Yeah.
And we all want to scale up our life. We want to scale up our business. And we're going to do that by the people that we associate ourselves with.
Yeah.
We want to be the poorest person in the room. We want to be the dumbest person in the room. We are going to be the product of the 5 people we spend most of our time around.
Yeah.
So for me, those people are people around the world, around the country. Brian Fine, Mark Abramovich, Keston Glasgow, Muniz Saza, Scott Jenkins. When you find yourself in a circle of successful people, you have no other choice but to become successful.
Right.
You know, so but all these people are busy. I'm busy. You know, do I have time to help everybody? What are you doing down there? No, I don't. Do I have time to help someone I don't know? I don't.
Yeah.
But do I have time to help someone I do know? I'll make the time. So I think the biggest advice I can give the new student is to not chase the deal, but chase the relationship. Everybody wants to get out there and get that first deal and make back the money they spent on their program. I'm going to make this money back. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to make more money.
Yeah.
But when they're focusing on one deal at a time, they're kind of going in a tunnel vision manner.
Yeah.
You know, I've done the complete opposite by building my network first.
Yeah.
And so if you chase the relationship, you're creating opportunities, because networking leads to visibility, and visibility is opportunity. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that was my mentality when I first got into it too. Like, hey, I just spent all this money on this mentorship. I really want to get my first deal. And so that's what you start to focus on. And it wasn't until, you know, it was a little bit before I joined your group. I mean, but I met some great people in sub 2, and then joining your group actually helped to change that mentality, which has been, honestly, it's been really amazing. It's a mindset shift kind of, in a sense, but well, not in a sense. I mean, it's a mindset shift, and it's really done well for me, and I know it can only get better as time goes on. So super huge. And so JJ, my question for you is, you know, how long do you plan on keeping this group going, and how long do you plan on
networking? Man, that's a
forever?
Great question. I think forever, because
I love it.
What I'm doing is just me.
Yeah.
I like people. I like to help people. I've kind of created a machine. I mean, you know, there's an old Zig Ziglar saying that says, help other people get what they want, and later on, indirectly, completely different people will help you get what you want.
Yeah.
Well, as I started the group, it wasn't for the intention of getting people to help me. It was because I met other people that, like myself, didn't grow up with computers. When I went to college, I had to do my term papers on a typewriter.
Right.
And if I made a mistake, I had to use whiteout. If I had too much white, I'd pull the page and I did have to type that all over again.
Yep.
I didn't grow up with cell phones. I didn't grow up with pagers. You know, so technology is new for me to some extent. I've worked hard at it. But every educational program, all of them, there's 25 people from 25 different educational programs in my group. Every educational program has a Facebook page for their membership. Yeah. People pay thousands to tens of thousands of dollars for an education.
Yeah.
And then the group tells them, go to our Facebook page and meet our membership. But a lot of those people are like, I don't have a Facebook page, or I haven't used it in years, and I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
And some of these people were ready to walk away from real estate because they've been in the group for months, maybe a year, maybe over a year, and they weren't being successful because they didn't know how to tie into their community.
Yeah.
So what I started to do, I mean, my thing from the beginning was to teach people how to use Facebook, so that they could create opportunities for themselves and meet other people. My desire from the beginning was to help other people. That's all my desire has ever been. And by helping other people, my name's gotten out there. And with that, coaches approach me, you know, professional real estate industry approached me and want to say, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
And my answer was, help my group.
Yeah.
Come be a guest speaker and provide your content to my group.
Yeah, which is amazing.
It's never been about me.
Yeah.
It's never been about me.
That's what I love about you, JJ, quite honestly. It's just all about the group. It's not about, you know, hey, look, we all have, you know, confidence and egos and whatnot, but I've never sensed that about you ever. It's always
You know,
been about the group and helping others. So
I was in Tampa, Florida this weekend for Pace Morby's, no, not Pace Morby. Pace Morby was there. Abraham Gray, who's a rock star and said too, and a gentleman named Carl Allen, who is unbelievable entrepreneur at acquiring businesses. But they had a seminar, and I met a young lady Monday morning, and she asked me, why did you start this group? And I said, when I started as a real estate investor, I didn't know anybody.
mm-hmm.
And although I paid into a very expensive program, I wanted to meet people that were just like me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make friends with other people that would help me. And I went to a boot camp and I met 7 people. We created the group with 7 people to start with.
Nice.
And as I went to different events, I met more people. I said, would you like to join my group? And we did nothing but just didn't even know what to do with the group. Really didn't know what to do with it. We kind of just posted stuff. And the group grew. Within a year and a half, it was 2,800 people.
Wow.
That was pretty crazy.
Wow.
I had to retool the group a little bit, but the purpose of the group is really just to help other people. Now showing people how to network.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've arguably become the most visible real estate student in the country.
I would agree.
There are people a lot more successful than me that are students. But I've worked hard to build my group, to build my visibility, to build my network, because I'm looking for the long haul now.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was just about getting to meet people. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking for the long haul. And that means, with my group, there's no charge for my group. I don't charge anybody a dime. I just help people because that's who I am. People say, why do you do this? Well, when I was new, there was not a group for me of students, by students, for students, to help students. So I friggin' made one.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's like, okay, why aren't you charging anybody?
You saw a problem and you fix it. By the way, I think that bears repeating. The group is free. This whole thing is free.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, I mean.
So, people ask me, why do I do this? Because there wasn't a group like this for me. And I figure now that, it's the old Zig Ziglar thing, help people.
Mm-hmm.
If I can help 10 people with their business, one, that makes them more successful. That's going to allow them to provide for their family, to build their legacy. To now with this group, allow them to be around other people of a like mindset who are working in the same path. Yep. And the basic fundamental of my group is the relationship and treating people properly. Right. The byproduct of this is if I help you to be successful, because now you're meeting people and through the group, you become more confident and you become successful. If your path is multifamily, if your path is foreclosure, if your path is warehousing, if your path is multifamily, and 2-3 years from now, I want to go into one of those fields, which is your field of expertise. And I've helped you to get there by allowing you to be in the group. And now I want to follow your particular path. Hey, I need help. What are the odds of you helping me?
I mean, hi.
Yeah, it's going to generally be a slam dunk. So,
exactly.
I think for me, just generally, it's never been about me. It's been about helping other people. And when I help other people who have coaches or coaches hear that, this is not a business we can do by ourselves.
Yeah.
And with all the money we're spending, nobody needs to feel that they're alone.
No, and it's such a it's such an issue too, because we kind of get taught to hold things close to our vest. We get taught, every man for himself, every person for themselves. And it's really not, it's not that way. It shouldn't be that way. And it's not really that way. Yeah, actually, I've seen more people be successful when there's a group of people helping each other.
Well, Pace talks about it all the time. Squat up.
Yeah, 100%.
Like 100%. For me, if I'm going to buy a house, I'll buy it for anyone who's going to sell it to me.
Yeah.
If I'm going to sell a house, I'll sell it to anyone who's got the money to buy it from me.
Mhm.
But if I'm going to joint venture and I'm going to go into business with somebody, I need to make sure that's someone that I'm going to invite into my family home, someone that
Yeah,
I'm comfortable having my Thanksgiving table, my Christmas table,
that's right.
to sit with my family. Does that person have the mindset, the character, the integrity, the values that I seek? And those are my friends. Because if that person doesn't, I don't care how much money they have. I'm not doing business with them.
Right. Got to trust them. Got to trust.
Pace has said the same thing. There are people that approach Pace all the time. I'm sure, whether they're let's say experienced. People have obviously been in the business longer than Pace, but he is, for who he is, he's family oriented.
Yeah.
He's about family first, and he's created a community to that effect.
Yeah.
But I'll just say Pace is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. And to that point though, as far as like, the networking and meeting people and trusting people, you were talking about it earlier. People will say like, well, I don't know what value I bring, or I don't think I bring any value to the table. And so people are afraid to reach out sometimes and talk to people and ask questions and just meet these people. What would you say to that? And what would you say to if I told you like, well, I didn't really reach out to that person, or I haven't really been networking because I don't really know what value I bring.
Brother, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
I have new students that tell me that they don't want to say anything because they don't think they have any value.
Yeah.
And they'll look like they're going to go into a room of other investors, and it makes them apprehensive, it makes them uncertain, it makes them lack confidence, which is going to affect how they interact with others.
Yeah.
But when you go into that room, people aren't leading with how many properties they have. People are not leading with how much money they've amassed to their portfolio or how much money they made last year.
Yeah.
When you go to those rooms, you're going to network, you're going to meet other people. And when you go to meet other people, you have to remember who you are.
Yeah.
And that means, look at yourself the way your family sees you, the way your spouse sees you, your kids, your grandparents, your friends from high school, college, from the neighborhood. The people that truly know you and love you see you as a certain light. And you have to understand that, because that's who you are deep inside. And when you walk into that room with the confidence of the person that the people that love you know you to be, you cannot fail. You cannot fail.
I love that. That's so good. So let me end it with this. I mean, I know you were talking about Instagram, Facebook, building up your Instagram and Facebook, and I know you do your meetings every Saturday. I've missed a couple Saturdays, but I try to be there at every single one if I can be. But I love it when you go through Facebook and show people how to set up their Facebook. So I mean, I know that the Saturday Zooms are really the place to be for that, but is there any tips you would give people that are watching this right now on what they can do to get like maybe get their Facebook and their Instagrams going?
No, that's the whole purpose of the call. I know we've been talking about me and talking about how the group came about.
Yeah.
Building your business through social media. You do not market your business, you market yourself. And the key is to have everybody know who you are. If you don't know how to do that, join my group. Let me show you for free. I won't charge you. My thing will be to help you to get your business successful. But what you want to do, you don't market your business, you market yourself. Everybody needs to know who you are, whether your name is Joe Blow, John Smith, or Muhammad Ali, right? When people get to know you, what they're knowing really is they're getting to know your name before they get to know you.
Yeah.
When you're posting, when you're commenting, when you're sharing content, when you're putting stuff on your YouTube, when you're putting stuff on your Instagram, when you're sharing stuff to LinkedIn, when you're posting, when you're being visible on social media, people will know your name before they know you.
Yeah.
When they know your name before they know you, that's when your name becomes your brand. There's a lot of people that have, heard Pace.
That's an important point. That's a really important point.
I mean, Pace Morby is a perfect example, and I love Pace.
Yeah.
His values are proper. His mindset is proper. His goal is to help people. And he's out there. He's visible. He's on Instagram. He's on YouTube. He's on Facebook. So people know his name before they know him.
Yeah.
His name has become his brand. Now I've tried to market myself to build my community, to build my visibility, because networking leads to visibility, visibility leads to opportunity. So how do you be visible? How do you use social media to build your business? It's called the cell phone. You just pick up your phone, and I think the most simple thing to do is hold up the phone and do a little 30-second video.
Yeah.
And you take that video and you post it to Instagram.
Yeah, it literally takes no time.
Takes
right?
no time. But what you do is you can link up your Instagram so it links to your Facebook, because they're both owned by Facebook, by Meta, right? So I post my video to Instagram, and I can have it set that with the click of one button to share to Instagram, it goes to my Facebook.
Yeah.
So now I've hit 2 social media platforms with 1 share.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to my Facebook page, once it's there, I can then share that video to any group I belong to.
Yeah.
To JJ's Mastermind Networking, to Sub 2, to Brian Fine's Coast to Coast Networking Group, to Rayana Starr's group, to Carl Allen's group, to any one of a number of groups.
Yeah.
But
you know what, honestly, JJ, I would say too, I would say I love like your videos where you were walking through the airport, like just recently coming back from Tampa, where you're doing your videos walking through the airport, just shouting out. Those are some of my favorite, because they're just genuine, they're off the cuff, and people love that stuff too.
It's crazy. I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a connecting flight, and I'm wearing my Sub 2 hat, and some guy stopped. Hey, Sub 2.
Wow, nice.
I go, are you Sub 2? He goes, yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, do you know me? He says, no, but you got the hat on.
Yeah.
So by wearing my swag, I was able to meet somebody.
Yeah. That's great.
How do we use social media? Again, it was, that the hat's part of it, which I got from Pace, but I did the video. And when you do these videos, I believe it's Instagram has Reels. I think YouTube has Shorts. Facebook has the story. So each of these 3 platforms, and you can put Shorts into Instagram as well. But each of these platforms has an opportunity to share the short video. And it doesn't matter what you do the video on. It doesn't even have to be real estate. Put yourself out there. If you're not putting yourself out there, nobody knows who you are. So, hey, you know what? I'm at the dog show. My dog got 3rd place, Whether, I'm at the circus and my kid's eating cotton candy. It doesn't really matter. Do the video, put it out there. People like videos. Yeah. Keep it short, keep them simple. Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, they're owned by the same company. If you want to be visible, get a YouTube account. Do that. You can follow the other people that have YouTube, maybe the rock stars in Sub 2, and there's a whole bunch of them. If you don't know who they are, come to me. I'll introduce you to them. Yeah. But you need to have a YouTube account so you can follow other people and see what their content is. Keston Glasgow, Abraham Gray, Munif Saza. There's so many guys that come to mind. Olu Lanayonu, a whole bunch of people that have YouTube channels. They're putting out content. They're sharing their knowledge for free. So you have to get a YouTube account. And when you get your YouTube account, start putting stuff on there. So you want to post to YouTube, you want to post to Instagram, you want to post to Facebook, and not just still photos, but videos. Let people hear your voice. Let them feel your passion. Let them understand what's going on in your mind, in your mindset. So, my tip, is, and I can spend another hour, but post on Facebook. And the other part about Facebook, comment on Facebook, use that social media. There's 5 ways that you could react to somebody's comment on Facebook to bring yourself visibility. Facebook is about engagement. They want you to have a profile photo. They want you to have a cover photo. They want you to, it's a visual platform. They want you to share photos. If you're going to post something to your own wall or to any education group you belong to, such as Sub 2, after a while, if there's a whole bunch of posts there and and no one's posting a photo or a GIF image or a link, all those things tend to look the same. 5 or 6 sentences, 5 or 6 sentences, they all look the same.
And people are just going to go right by them.
Well, yeah, you want to stop people's eye from scrolling.
Yeah.
If it means I say put up a GIF image, because it's a colorful little moving thing and people can stop to look at it.
Yeah.
And the reason is the mere value of your content is not enough to make people stop and read the value of your message.
No, TLDR, if anyone doesn't know what that means, right? TLDR, too long, didn't read.
Well, there you go.
Right. And by the way, that one tip of adding a GIF image, has been huge, right? People see you, people stop and they look at that stuff. So that's a big one.
And not just in your post, but in responding to other people's posts. Like you'll see it in many education groups. Hey, I'm new to the group. 50 people put welcome to the family, but they all look the same. Yeah. But if you put welcome to the family and you add a GIF image, now your comment is more visible than everybody else. You stand out, your name stands out. And the more you use the GIF image, the more it's going to be, hey, I'm JJ, look at my GIF image. Hey, I'm JJ again, look at my GIF image. Hey, look, I got another GIF image, JJ again.
Yeah.
And the use of a GIF image markets yourself.
Yeah.
To do a comment on somebody's post and not use the GIF image means you're not marketing yourself. And here's one of the key things is that Facebook doesn't separate my activity on Sub 2 to how visible I am in Sub 2 and my activity with my family to how visible I am with my family. Facebook measures your activity everywhere. So if I'm using a GIF image with my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, my grandparents, my nieces, my nephews, whoever it happens to be, friends from high school, college, my W-2, and everywhere I'm using a GIF image, people are going to like that. And the more they like the GIF image in other areas away from real estate, what does that do to my visibility in Sub 2?
Oh,
it makes me more visible.
Makes you more visible.
That's how the algorithm works.
Yeah. Yeah. I come from kind of the old school world of doing like direct mail stuff and direct mail marketing and things like that. And they used to always say that once somebody has seen your name or your business name like more than 5 times, they feel like they know you. And there's some truth to that for sure. And I would say the same thing in Facebook or Instagram. Once they see your name, even if you're just posting on somebody else's, comment, they see it enough times, they feel like, oh, I kind of know who that person is, right?
And that's kind of marketing yourself. I mean, you look at things like American Idol, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Jersey Shore, Survivor. These are just silly TV shows that are reality shows that take regular people like you and me, put them on a social media platform, and now they're well known. And being well known, now things come to them. Now we're on Facebook, we're on Zoom right now. It's going to be on YouTube. But when the people that are watching right now on this call or watching on YouTube, as you put yourself out there more, people are going to be aware of who you are.
Yeah.
And when they're aware of who you are, you now become a social media presence. Believe it or not, the more visible you are, people are just going to know you.
Yeah.
And what that does is that's marketing yourself, and eventually it's branding yourself. And as you become well known, people will come up to you because they've heard your name or they've seen your face, and through that opportunity just comes through that. So, getting back to the thing about, building your business through social media, it means to participate, do videos, start with short ones. Social media, we hear about groups.
Yeah.
So you want to be in groups. On Facebook, for example, there's a whole multitude of real estate groups for your community, for your topic of interest. You want to join the free groups. There are paid groups, and some of the groups are worth being in. And the paid groups will have a Facebook page. I'm in a group about raising private money. That's a group that it costs to be in. And of course, there's a Facebook page for that. I just jumped in with a group this weekend that's about building businesses and acquiring businesses. Whether it's a group or whether it's events, and they go hand in hand. Social media wise, because you're going to find out about them through social media, you need to go to the live events you hear about.
Yeah,
a lot of them are free. You have your local meetups for your community. Meetup, which is a website, meetup.com. You can go to the free events, but also go to the paid events.
Yeah.
There are events you have to pay to get into. And those are crucial because the more people have to pay, there's more exclusivity, and not just anybody can get in there. Right. But when you want to get to the rooms with the big people, those are usually rooms you have to pay to get into.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously there's a reason, right?
You have to pay to play.
Got to pay to play.
You have to pay to play. And, you know, to build those relationships, everybody, and I use the rock stars and sub too. Yeah. Everybody wants to get to know these people. They go to events, but if you want to go meet them, you need to get into that room. And to get into the room with those people, it takes two things. One, you got to pay to get in there. And you need to be visible to get in there. Like some events, some groups are so big, they only invite certain people depending upon how visible they are, how much you're contributing to the community, how much you're giving to the other people. So it's their efforts that get them in there. But still, even though they have those efforts, they have to pay to get to those events sometimes.
Yeah.
So again,
that's something I struggle with. Even now, like I struggle with getting to those you know, face-to-face meetups, and I need to get to more of them. And that's, you know, something I need to get better with. But just, you're 100% right. It's super important. And it's one of those things where once people see you enough times, it's you know, you're just building your network, and it's streamlining it. It's like helping to, you know, pump caffeine into your networking, you know, work, so to speak. So JJ, let me ask you, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
I've got an Instagram, which is jj.azizian, JJ Azizian on Facebook. And I have a website, jjazizian.com. You go to the website, which is jjazizian.com. There's a little pulsating box that says register now. And when people click that button, it allows them to then register to be a part of the group, which is a free group.
Awesome. Well, hey, JJ, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here and letting me host with you. This has been an amazing experience. And thank you for sharing your wisdom and for building this amazing group. I know for myself, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of people, if not everybody here, joining your group and being a part of this group has been tremendous for our own personal growth in real estate investing and for our own networks, and just learning how to get out there and be more present and you know, help other people, learning how to help other people too. I remember when I first got here, I was in the back of the room and you kind of forced me up to the front, and you do that for everybody. And I love that about you. So thank you so much. And I just want to say on behalf of myself and JJ, thank you guys for being here. If you're watching, subscribe to the YouTube channel, go to the website, sign up, and we'll see you here.
Thanks a lot.